What's up, guys? We're getting ready to start a Robot Master Weapons only run of Mega Man 6 for the NES. The rules are quite simple. We're only allowed to use the Robot Master Weapons. This means no using the Mega Buster and no using Rush. We also can't use Beat, but at the same time we won't be able to get him anyway since we're not allowed to use Rush. There will be a couple of areas that will force Buster usage and force Rush usage, but there won't be very many, and that will be the only times that we ever use the Buster or Rush whatsoever. I think we're going to start off with Knight Man. He gives a pretty good weapon. One of the best in Mega Man 6 in my opinion. One thing that I really like about Mega Man 6 is that if you return to stages, like the color palette will be changed around some. It's kind of neat, I guess. One thing that's interesting about Knight Man and Wind Man is that the two of them were made by people in North America, so that's kind of cool. I really like Knight Man's stage here and the whole castle dungeon theme, this little trap here. Gotta keep moving. Just keep on sliding, we'll have to take damage, there we go, probably take damage again. Sometimes I take damage from that second one, other times I don't. Kinda weird. We got Eddie in this level as well, we'll see what he gives us. I like Knight Man's stage for all the different traps and different stage obstacles that you see, like the big spike trap back in the area that we passed not too long ago. You got these wheels that move you if you just stand still. Then later on the stage we'll be in a room where it bounces you all over the place. Just stuff like that. It's pretty cool in my opinion. These enemies I always found weird. They're like inside of those things and they only come out if you shoot them or if you like touch them. Kinda weird. But yeah, I don't really know what they're supposed to be, but oh well. Got Eddie up here, let's see what he has to give us. An energy tank. We'll use that later if we need it. Here's another enemy that I don't really understand. They're like scholars or something like that. Looks like they're wearing like a graduation hat, if you know what I mean. Kinda weird enemies, never really understood them, but whatever. I like the swords on the wall in the background. Here's the bouncy room that I was talking about earlier. You just gotta pay attention to what you're doing here. Overall, it's not too bad, and it's a pretty fun area, I think. If you want to go down to the path below, you have to beat Flame Man first and get the Rush Power Adapter. Going down below, you'll fight the Knight Man. That'll give you the Circuit Plate for Beat. Up here, though, we just fight another Knight Man where we won't get the Circuit Plate for Beat. Knight Man isn't too hard. I really do like the idea of giving him a shield that actually does block stuff. That's kind of cool. He's not too effective at fighting with his mace, though. I remember whenever I was younger, I used to call his weapon the Knight Cannon, because it just said Knight C on the weapon get menu and all that, so I never did know what that C stood for. And it wasn't until I got the Anniversary Collection years ago where I actually found out the actual name of the weapon. It's called the Night Crush. I called it the correct name ever since I found it out, but I just remember that whenever I was younger I used to call it the Night Cannon all the time. I don't know why. I really like the coloring for the Night Crush's outfit. The whole blue and gray color, I think that it looks kind of cool. The Night Crush itself is a really useful weapon as well. It has a boomerang type effect, and you can aim it. Plus, on top of that, it's pretty powerful. I like how they have the little statistics for the Robot Masters on the Robot Master selected screen. I never really paid much attention to them or anything, but it is kind of neat, I suppose. I remember whenever I was younger, I used to call Centaur Man Centaur Man. I don't even know why. Kind of weird, but whatever. You'd think that with this stage you'd see like Greek type stuff, but we just see a whole bunch of like waterfalls and underwater areas, which I don't have any problem with that. I like his music. I do like the whole underwater level, especially later on. It gets kind of trippy. You see water above you, but solid ground underneath you. Defies all physics there. Centaur Man stage is also another stage where we can get a circuit plate to get beat. But in order to get there, we have to have the Jet Mega Man adapter, and even if we had it, we wouldn't be able to get it because it forces us to use Rush. Here's the area I was talking about before with the upside down water section. Kinda trippy, but oh well. Just time our jump here to get across these spikes. You have to wait for the water to get kinda low. I really do like the idea behind that water area, though. We're gonna have to take a hit here and just run for it because you can't do anything to these guys with anything besides Power Mega Man's charge shot or the Mega Buster's charge shot. Got another visit from Eddie. What's he got for us? Nice, just what I needed too. Thank you, Eddie. We got some submarines and clouds over here. Kind of a weird enemy, I suppose, but whatever. I do like the way how the waterfalls look and everything in the background. That's pretty neat too. We'll be coming up pretty shortly to a mini-boss, so we can just flat out skip. You just gotta take a hit and run for it. Then right after that will be Centaur Man. Right here, just take a hit and run for it. The battle against Centaur Man that does give the beat circuit plates was up there. You have to be Jet Mega Man to get to it. Going this path, you don't get the beat circuit plate, but whatever. It's been a really, really long time since I fought the Robot Masters in the chambers that don't give the beat circuit plates. I always go for beat. But it's not that big a deal. It'll be kind of fun to go the alternate paths in Yamato Man and Tomahawk Man stage because I never go them. I always thought that Centaur Man was a pretty cool robot master myself. Centaur Man, look out behind you! Stupid. Stupid. If only he'd listened to me, he'd still be alive and trying to kill me. Anyway, though, Centaur Man gives us the Centaur Flash weapon, which is an attack-all weapon that hits everything on the screen at once. It's a pretty decent weapon that does that, too. You'll get to see it some. Doesn't use up too much energy, either. 4 bars per shot, which gives us a total of 7 shots to a full bar of weapon energy, which really isn't that bad. Plus, there's a chance that enemies can drop weapon energy as you're killing everything on screen, so, hey. Overall, I think that it's a pretty decent screen attacking weapon. I love Windman's music. He has one of my very favorite tunes in the entire Classic series. It's one of the things that I look forward to whenever I play Mega Man 6. And I like his stage altogether, the whole tower that you have to climb up. The pandas always got me whenever I was younger. I always thought, what in the world does that even have to do with wind? But I read that that's like one of the signs that he's a robot master from China, since all the different robot masters in Mega Man 6 come from different parts of the world. So that's kind of a neat thing. I think really the only thing in this whole stage that even has to do with wind at all is the fans that you see here and there that blow you around. But that's still not half bad. You got these platforms here that move from side to side as you jump on them. I guess that's kind of sky-based as well. Overall, though, I really do like this stage. I don't think that was so much supposed to be like sky-based. It was moreover supposed to be like tower-based, like you're climbing up a big tower. So that's fine. The Night Crush does a really good job of taking out these enemies. We've got plenty of it to last us for the rest of the stage. We're not too much further from the end of the stage, really. We gotta drop down a little bit, make our way through an underground area, and then we're at Windman. So yeah, we definitely have enough Night Crush to last us. Like I said, it is a really good weapon. I'd like to have a little bit in backup in case I accidentally screw up when fighting Windman and use a Centaur Flash too early. There we go, got Centaur Flash ready, and we're now at Windman. Some people call Windman an Airman wannabe. I don't think that he is at all. He fights completely different from Airman. That's just my opinion and all. All you really have to do against the battle with Windman is you can really aim wherever you want to, so you can just focus on dodging his attacks. Just be sure not to shoot too quickly like I did, because you have exactly enough weapon energy and Centaur Flash to take out Windman. Since I shot too early, I missed one of the shots, but thankfully we have enough weapon energy and Night Crush. And that second to last hit was just weird back there. I shot it at him. Normally the hit would connect with him and then disappear. The mace ball wouldn't come back to me, but it went through him and came back to me. That was weird. Threw me off there. For defeating Windman, we get the Windstorm weapon, which I actually enjoy using quite a bit. Whenever you shoot, it fires a tornado that goes along the ground, and if it hits an enemy, it'll carry the enemy up into the sky. Kind of funny, actually. Next up, I think we'll take out Flame Man. I remember back in the day whenever I'd follow a stage order, Flame Man was always the first one that I'd take on in Mega Man 6. I'm not really sure why. think it was probably just so I could get the rush power adapter as soon as I could. We'll use Night Crush throughout this area. Actually, I think that Centaur Flash would probably be a better weapon for us to use. Yeah, I think we'll use Centaur Flash, so let's go ahead and switch over to that. There we go. It's pretty useful for taking out the fire tellies that are here and there. I like the whole oil gimmick that goes on throughout his stage. You see oil everywhere, and if one of the fire tellies or any other enemy that has a fire-based attack shoots fire into the oil, it lights up and the fire becomes a one-hit KO to you. We have some forced Mega Buster usage up here. We just have to take a couple of hits through these first two enemies. Then on the third one we have to hit him with the charge shot from the Mega Buster. You have to do that to knock him into the oil to make a platform. If you don't use this platform, you can't get up and over the wall at the end. That's the only forced Mega Buster usage, though, in this stage. Through this area, just take hits and run along the top of the fire. Just one more, there we go. And now we'll go back to using Centaur Flash. There we go. Like I said, I think that Centaur Flash is a pretty decent screen clearing weapon. I really enjoy using it. I like the whole concept behind that weapon. Just the idea that you're bending dimensions to send enemies to their doom is just awesome in my opinion. We'll just continue to use it throughout this area. It takes out quite a bit of these enemies in one hit. All the enemies now except for the Cyber Gabules, the little things that you see moving back and forth along the ground. We're not too much farther from Flame Man as well. There we go. Use Night Crush for a little while. Now we'll switch back to Centaur Flash. Wanted to save it for whenever we got these two on screen. There we go. And use Night Crush to take out the last of them. And now we're at Flame Man. Flame Man is weak to Windstorm, so we'll go ahead and use that on him. For defeating Flame Man, we get the Flame Blast weapon, which lets you fire a little fireball, and if it hits the wall or the floor, it'll make a little pillar of fire for just a short while. It may sound like a pretty lame weapon, but it's actually really, really powerful, and it can melt little walls of ice that block secret paths or block good items like energy tanks and stuff like that. Overall, I do think that Flame Blast is actually a really good weapon, even though it sounds like it isn't, and it probably will look like it's not that great. It really is a pretty good weapon. It's also not too bad for hitting enemies below you, since you shoot it and it goes down in an arc. Yeah, and you also get the Rush Power Adapter, which, it'll get a little bit of screen time here and there where it's forced, but overall, I actually don't mind using it. I thought that was a pretty fun adapter to use. I used to use it all the time. I like the different warrior-based robot masters here in Mega Man 6, like Yamato Man, Tomahawk Man, Night Man, all them. Some of my favorites right there. We'll just use Windstorm throughout this area. Take out they always reminded me of frogs, but I don't really know what they're supposed to be. We'll use the Flame Blast up here. It can take out spear-throwing enemies in just a few hits. So that's pretty good. I usually don't take this path. I usually take the lower path, since it's shorter. Up here, it's like these guys don't even put up a threat at all. It's like Mega Man's like the headman at a work site. Yeah, hey, come over here, drop it right here. Alright, good. Hey, you, drop this one, okay. Right here. Alright, just a couple more guys right here. And right here. Alright, looks like the work's done for today. Everybody can go home. They just aren't really threatening at all. Cracks me up how that thing continues to walk towards you even after you lift it up into the air with Windstorm. Of course, it doesn't come at you, it just keeps walking in place, I mean. And we got another path split up here. Normally I take the top one that leads to the Yamato Man that has the beat circuit plate, but we're going to have to take the lower one this time. We'll use Centaur Flash for a little while. It really is kind of nice to be taking the lower route here in this fortress. Like I said, I usually take the top route. I do remember where everything is at here in the lower route though, so it's not that much different, but it is nice for a change of scenery for once. It's going to be nice to see all the other different routes I'll be taking in this game, because I usually don't take those. But here we are at Yamato Man. I wonder if we can get that guy with Night Crush. Let's try it out real quick. Doesn't look like it. That's alright though. We'll just get within range and destroy him. There we go. We don't have Yamato Man's weakness, that's the silver tomahawk. So instead we'll just stick to using other weapons. We've got plenty of energy in a lot of our different weapons, so we can definitely take Yamato Man out. One thing that I like about fighting him in the upper route is that there's a big window and you can see out it. You can see the mountains and stuff in the background. That looks kind of neat, but hey, it's been a while since I fought him here in like the basement, I guess, of the fortress. I like Yamato Man and his design altogether. I think that he's really cool. Makes him kind of a pushover that he actually has to fire off his own weapon and then retrieve it. Leaves him wide open to be attacked. Just shows that he's got a lot of nuts and bolts, I guess. Something like that. Heck, I don't know. His scatter shot that he fires whenever he jumps into the air can sometimes get me. But that's probably his most threatening attack. Really about the only one that he has that's threatening. Like I said, whenever he fires the tip of his spear off, it leaves him open too much. But whatever the case, he is now down and out. We are getting ready to get his weapon, which is the Yamato Spear. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that word right. Yamato, Yamato. I don't know. I always pronounced it Yamato Man. But whatever the case, we get the Yamato Spear, which it's an alright weapon. It's got decent energy. As you see right there, every other shot arcs in a different direction. The first one will arc in an upward angle. The second one will arc in a downward angle. Third one in an upward angle. Fourth one in a downward angle. So on and so forth. So it's nice like that. We're now going to try to take out Plant Man. We'll just use Windstorm throughout the first part of his stage. I like his stage quite a bit, the whole forest and all that. Plant Man himself, he's probably one of my least favorite Robot Masters in the entire series. But that's not saying much because I do like all of the Robot Masters, but Plant Man just isn't my favorite by far. There we go. We'll probably use Centaur Flash throughout this next area. All the enemies throughout this area go out in one hit to it. Wait for that little helicopter guy. There we go. And dead. We're getting ready to come up to a visit with Eddie. Let's see what he gives us. Hoping weapon energy just because. Nice. I'm probably going to use Centaur Flash later on in the level. But right now we have a mini-boss here. I kind of like the little gorilla tank mini-bosses. They're pretty cool. I like the music in Plant Man's stage as well. It's pretty good. Plant Man, I believe, is supposed to represent South America, since all the Robot Masters represent different areas. I believe Blizzard Man represents Canada, Wind Man represents China, Flame Man represents India, Tomahawk Man represents the United States, Centaur Man represents Greece, Night Man represents Great Britain, Yamato Man represents Japan, and Plant Man represents Brazil, is what it is. That's what all 8 Robot Masters represent around the world. So I really like that they went for like a whole world theme for this game. An interesting thing about this part of the stage is that only certain weapons will open up the floating platforms you see here and there. The only weapon we have right now that will open them up is Yamato Spear. But besides Yamato Spear, Blizzard Attack, Plant Barrier, and Silver Tomahawk also open them up. And of course the Mega Buster. I really like how they hit all the small life energies inside of the flowers throughout this area. We'll go ahead and use Centaur Flash. It'll help out quite a bit with keeping ourselves alive. Destroy everything on screen and whatnot. I forgot to mention earlier, the main reason why I started with Night Man in this run was because he gives a really good starting weapon. But if you're going to do this run for yourself, keep in mind that there are 3 forbidden Robot Masters. You can't start with Blizzard Man because the only Robot Master that you can kill completely with his weapon is Plant Man, and you won't have enough energy in Blizzard Attack to destroy both Gorilla Tanks and Plant Man. So he's a forbidden first Robot Master. Plant Man himself is also a forbidden first Robot Master because of the Gorilla Tank mini-bosses. They cause you to use your Mega Buster, so you can't go to him first. And the last forbidden Robot Master is Tomahawk Man because of the Met Dispenser mini-bosses. They cause you to use your Mega Buster. So other than that, you can go with whoever you want, but I chose Night Man because he gives you a really good starting weapon. For defeating Plant Man, you get the Plant Barrier weapon, which is okay, I guess. It's kind of like the skull barrier from Mega Man 4, except it uses more weapon energy. It does have a pretty neat little animation though, so I like that. But of all the Mega Man 6 weapons, it's probably my least used one. Not necessarily my least favorite, but easily my least used one. But it'll still get some screen time for sure. But it's not too bad of a shield, I don't guess. I just don't use it that often. Like I said though, I really do like its animation. And yeah, we also get the Rush Jet adapter. Lets us become Jet Mega Man. You'll get to see it here and there in the forest areas. Next up, I think we'll take out Tomahawk Man. I really like the whole theme in his level of cowboys and Indians. I think that that's really cool. I take back what I said about Plant Barrier a moment ago about it being my least used weapon in Mega Man 6. I'd say that it's probably tied with Blizzard Attack as my least used weapon in Mega Man 6. As far as my least favorite is concerned, I'd probably give that to Blizzard Attack, but I still don't mind using that even. It has its uses. I like using Yamato Spear throughout the beginning of this stage. We'll go ahead and use Night Crush on the mini-boss over here, though. Just fire it up at him. There we go. We'll use Windstorm for this next part. We got a visit from Eddie in this level as well. He's coming right up. I really like the part that's getting ready to come up with the sun showing in the background and everything. There's a ladder at the beginning of that section. I almost always go up that way. I usually don't take the lower path. See what Eddie gives us? Weapon energy. Nice. Here's the area that I was talking about. I usually take that ladder in the upper left. But since we can't use Rush, we gotta take this path, which I don't mind because it's been a while. There we go. We're already done with this area. I really like the music in Tomahawk Man stage as well. It's one of my favorite songs in Mega Man 6. I just really like it. We got a secret item in this stage that I'm going to pick up, the Energy Equalizer. You'll see it whenever we get to it. We got another Met Dispenser over here. We'll just take it out the same way that we did the last one. Normally I take the lower path and fight the Tomahawk Man that gives me the Beat Circuit plate right here. But since that forces you to use Rush, I'm not going to. I know that this isn't necessary to use Power Mega Man to get this, and it's kind of going against the rules. But hey, I want to give Power Mega Man a little bit of screen time. It'll give Proto Man a little bit of screen time, and it'll give us an item that'll help cause less pausing for this run. So what the heck, it isn't violating the rules that much. I hope y'all don't mind. I doubt it. And here we have the Energy Equalizer. What that does is if you are using a weapon like the Mega Buster, Power Mega Man, or Jet Mega Man, and you pick up any weapon energy, it automatically goes to the weapon with the lowest energy. Or if you're using a weapon and it's already maxed out on weapon energy and you pick up a weapon capsule, it'll do the same thing. So that should help us out with keeping our weapons balanced, and with pausing, we won't have to do it as much. So yeah, that's the main reason why I wanted to pick it up. Give Proto Man screen time, Power Mega Man screen time, and help cause less pausing. Here we are at Tomahawk Man, one of my favorite Robot Masters in the series. I just really like the warrior-based Robot Masters in this game, I really do. I find it kinda odd that he's weak to plants. Wouldn't like an Indian be like good with plants, I guess? I mean, I really don't know. It just kinda baffles me why Tomahawk Man is weak to plants, but hey, whatever. Doesn't really matter. For defeating Tomahawk Man, we get the Silver Tomahawk, which is actually more bronze. So it's weird that they call it Silver Tomahawk. Whatever the case though, I think that it's one of the more useful ones in this game. It's really powerful and it shoots up at an angle, so it can be kinda useful for taking out enemies that are up high if you got good aim with it. I'll use it some throughout the beginning of Blizzard Man stage to show you guys. One thing that I've noticed in Mega Man 6 is that it doesn't really seem like you slide around on the ice as much. At least I find it more difficult to moonwalk. So maybe that's just me. Got some seals here and there. I like Blizzard Man stage. It was the first one that I ever did whenever I played Mega Man 6 for the first time. I remember Blizzard Man's little intro pose cracked me up for some reason, the little dance that he does. I never take this lower path here. I always go along the top of the bombs and that health. It's kinda nice to do that for a change. We'll use Centaur Flash throughout this next area. Destroys everything in one hit. I like getting the double kills all throughout this area too. I never just kill one enemy at a time, I always gotta kill two. And get Centaur Flash and kill two enemies, there we go. Again. And double kill. There we go. Done with that area, we'll go ahead and use Flame Blast on the mini-boss down here. There we go. Took him out pretty quickly. I really like this next area for Blizzard Man stage, the whole submarine thing that they got going on. I never really knew what it was when I was younger, but of course I know what it is now. And I really like the whole idea of the submarine area just going up and down. You got the spikes at the top and everything. It's pretty cool. At least I think so anyway. I also like how they put spikes along the bottom, so if you're down there and the submarine goes too low, you can also die that way. Just a really cool area, I think. I like the addition of these countdown bombs, even though they count down faster than what they should. It's like 3, 2, 1, boom. But that gives you more than enough time to move on to the next one, really, though. Every time I see mountains in just about any Mega Man game, it makes me think of Blizzard Man stage. I just really think that the mountains look good in the background. I also like this countdown bomb puzzle here right before the boss doors. Pretty neat. Gotta do a little bit of moonwalking before we fight Blizzard Man, so let's go ahead and do that. There we go. I like how Blizzard Man skis around the room instead of like walking or running. He actually skis around. Well, of course, he can also roll up into the ball and bash into the wall and stuff. But I like his normal way of moving around. It's kind of cool. I also like how he's supposed to be a snowman. His choice of weapons is awfully weird. Get him, snowflakes. Show him what's what. Anyway, though, for defeating Blizzard Man, you get the Blizzard Attack weapon, which summons 4 snowflakes behind Mega Man. 2 that go straight forward, 1 that goes up at an angle, and 1 that goes down at an angle. It's an okay weapon. It's not the best in Mega Man 6, far from it, but it's the only weapon besides Power Mega Man's Charge Shot that can kill the Cyber Gavials, so that's good about it. And well, that is it for Part 1.